Hey guys, it's Adrian from BHA here, bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Eufy have sent me over another awesome product to show you guys. And so today we are going to look at the Eufycam3. This thing is pretty sweet. Not only is it 4K, but it's also solar powered. And these solar panels are actually built into the camera themselves. And so with this being Wi-Fi as well, you can pretty much mount this anywhere around your house and no cables will have to be run to it at all. Putting that together with the brand new Eufy homebase 3 makes it that much better. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so this thing is a little on the pricey end, I'm not gonna lie, but you can pick it up on Amazon's website for $550. Now that will include 2 of the cameras and the homebase 3. And the greatest thing about the homebase 3 that you probably don't know yet is that not only does it have 16 gigs of built-in storage, but it also has its own expandable storage slot, which allows you to put your own hard drive in there for basically an infinite amount of storage. And I'll also have some links in the description below that will give you some discount codes and some ways for you to take advantage and get an even better deal on this product. You're going to want to check this thing out.
Okay, so first things first, we're going to start by unboxing this system here. I'm calling it a system because it comes with 2 cameras and a hub, so really you get the whole setup. As always, Eufy likes to put tons of information on the outside of the box, not only talking about the product itself, but what all comes in the box as well. Let's see if we can get this thing opened up here. All right, so we have everything right here at the top. Let's see here. First things first is the hub. This is the Eufy homebase 3, which is their latest homebase model. It has 16 gig of local storage, but the really cool thing about this is you pop this little magnetic lid off the top, and there is a slot here that you can install your own SSD SATA drive for a ton more storage. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so next we got the cameras themselves. Now in this setup, it has 2 cameras, but they do offer other versions which come with even more cameras if needed. So you also have the ability to buy the camera individually as well if you just want to add one to your existing setup. Let's see, on the back here is a cover for the USB port, which will charge the internal battery if for some reason you can't charge via solar. Now the super cool thing about these cameras are that the solar panel is built right in. So no need to mount a separate solar panel or route the cabling between the solar panel and the camera. Everything is built right in, so that is pretty cool. On top of it, these are Wi-Fi, which means you don't even need to run any network cables over to them either. Just mount them, add them to your Eufy app, and you're ready to go. These are really heavy-duty cameras. They're not lightweight, but they pretty small form factor, very cool. Let's see what else we got inside the box here. Other than the home base and the cameras, you get the mounts for both the cameras. We got the instructions for how to set it up in the Eufy app. Let's see, we got the network cable for the home base. We got mounting screws for each camera. We also have these screws for the extra hard drive for when you add it to the storage slot on that home base. A USB cable for charging the cameras without the solar panel. And then a power cord for the home base. But that's pretty much everything that comes in the box. Let's take a look at the main specs here of the unit. I've kind of highlighted them here on the left. Let's see, of course, this is a 4K camera with infinite battery life since you have that built-in solar panel. It doesn't actually list it here, but these do support 2-way audio, which of course is awesome, as well as having a spotlight, which will give you that color night vision, which has become so popular right now. With the Bionic Mind AI technology, you get human detection, pet detection, package detection, face detection. This thing sounds awesome. 16 gigs of built-in storage in that home base with the expandable storage slot giving you infinite amount of storage depending on what size drive you add. And then, of course, lastly, 135 degrees on the field of view. So this sounds like a pretty nice camera. That about covers it on the specs for this unit. Let's move on to the next step and get the new homebase 3 set up and added into the Eufy app. All right, so first things first, we're going to add a 1 terabyte hard drive to our new homebase 3, utilizing that expanded storage slot. So we have removed the magnetic top here, and we just want to pull out that hard drive tray. And then the hard drive should just kind of slide right in there, and we can then screw it into the tray. Once we have done that, we can then slide the tray back into the slot. And now when we connect the homebase to the Eufy app, it should see that extra storage. At this point, we are ready to get this thing added into the Eufy app. So here we are in the Add Devices screen. We're going to select the S380 homebase, which is also known as the homebase 3. Now I have it added to my network with the provided network cable. It wants me to make sure that my phone is on the same home network as well, which it is. Once the homebase is completely booted up, the status light on the front will change from red to blue. And at this point, it wants to scan the QR code on the bottom of the homebase. Now it says connecting to the unit. Okay, so we're going to push the sync button on the back of the unit until it beeps. Looks like about 2 seconds should do the trick. Basically, once it's finished connecting, it will sound an alarm, and you can just kind of hit that sync button again to turn off the alarm. And we're done there. So now looks like it's pretty much done connecting, and we can give the homebase a name. I'm going to call it Burns Homebase 3. But that's pretty much it. We now have the homebase added to our Eufy app. One more thing that we're going to want to do, since we added that extra hard drive into the expanded storage slot, we're going to want to format it. So if you go into the settings for the homebase 3, you'll see that format button there right next to the newly installed hard drive. So we'll click on that and let it kind of go through and format the drive. I'll kind of fast forward through all that, but now we have the homebase set up and ready to go in the Eufy app. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get the cameras added. Alright, so before we physically install the cameras, I actually think it will be easier to get them added into the Eufy app and connected with the homebase 3. So that's what we're going to do here. Here I am in the app, and we're going to go on to the Add Device screen here, and we're looking for the S330 Eufycam. Now S330 is kind of the other code name or whatever for the Eufycam3. We're going to hit next here. Now I want them to connect with the homebase 3, so that's what we'll select here. Okay, so it says keep the camera and homebase within 1 meter of each other. So they need to be pretty close, at least initially, to complete the setup. Alright, so we're going to hold the sync button down on the back of the camera until it beeps. We'll hit next, and then it looks like it's now discovering the camera. Alright, so I think we are good. Let's give it a name here. I'm going to call this one Backyard 1, since I'm putting both of these in my backyard. Alright, so we're going to hit next here. There we go. Added successfully. That was pretty simple. And we can kind of skip through the rest of this menu here as we're done with the installation. Now you're going to have to do this individually for both cameras, or however many of these Eufycam3 cameras you bought, you will have to do this for each one. But at this point, we are ready to install the cameras outside. So just to kind of give you an idea where my plan of installation is, this is where I'm going to be installing them. I'm going to take down the Eufycam3 that we tested previously, and we will kind of install these in its place. And then, of course, to show you the final product of them actually being installed, I have installed one here, and I ended up moving the second one a little bit further out just to get a full coverage of the backyard. But between these two, I feel like it does have pretty decent coverage. So we can go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll go over the config options in the app. Okay, so here we are in the Eufy app, and of course you got all your regular capabilities with the ability to take pictures, you can record, you can listen to audio, obviously you can listen to the sound and turn that off if you want. You also have the ability to speak to the person on the other end of the camera as well with the two-way audio. But if we go up into the settings here in the top corner, let's see, we got your main information about the camera just up at the top with the battery level and whatnot. But if we go into, let's see, motion detection here, you have the ability to turn it on and off. You can change that sensitivity, which I like to have mine right in the middle, so I'm going to leave it there. You also have the different detection types there at the bottom. So you get human detection, pet detection. If I had these cameras set up where there were cars, I could turn on that vehicle detection if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave that off. All right, so spotlight settings. This is where you can enable the use of the spotlight. You can also determine how bright you want that spotlight to be by default. Under video settings, we have the ability to have that Eufy watermark if we want to. Let's see, we can set the streaming quality, which I'm going to leave it at auto. Recording quality, I definitely want that to be the best, so I want that to be on 4K since I have plenty of storage. For night vision, I'm going to set this to color night vision and see how that works, because I definitely want to take advantage of that. All right, under audio settings. Now this is where you can turn your microphone on and off, and you also have the ability to determine whether or not you want to record sound. So you can actually record video and not have sound in it if you'd prefer. And of course, obviously that's going to use less storage overall. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that here. Let's see, under notification, this is where you can set up all of your notifications, what types of notifications you might want to receive. I like to have mine most efficient, so I usually kind of leave it on the default there. Now, if you go under general, then you can go to storage, and there's actually a really cool feature with this camera, and that's the ability to enable RTSP, which is crazy awesome to me because you don't usually see that on battery powered cameras. My guess is that Eufy felt like with the solar panels built into the camera that this thing was always going to be charged, and so you shouldn't drain the battery that fast. But this gives us a really cool opportunity because we'll have the ability to add this into Home Assistant. At least I hope so. I'm not going to go into that in this video just because I don't want it to be such a long video, but maybe we could do a follow-up video and see what that looks like. But other than that, that's pretty much everything that we can see in the settings app. Let's go ahead and move on to that last step. We'll take a look at the video quality for daytime, black and white night vision, color night vision, as well as I will give you my final thoughts. All right, so first let's look at the daytime quality. Now this is 4K video coming off the camera, and it looks pretty awesome. It's got very clear footage, and I was definitely impressed with the quality. So next up, let's look at the color night vision. And basically, this is using that built-in spotlight on the camera itself. I still felt like the video quality was very good. Being 4K video, it comes in a very clear stream. And last but not least, I switched it back to the black and white night vision just to kind of give you an idea what that looks like as well. And still a very nice quality stream. Now, one last thing I was going to show you is going over to the events in the app here. And you remember we enabled pet detection on the cameras. And this thing has been going to town. Every time my dogs run past this camera, it picks them up. So I got plenty of storage on here, so I'm not going to change any of my settings. But it is definitely doing a pretty good job of picking up pets as they run by. My biggest pet peeve with these cameras is that I have turned the color night vision back on, but for some reason, I'm still getting all my recordings in black and white night vision. I'm not really sure if just the cameras need to be rebooted maybe to kind of pick up the change, or if there's some sort of bug that might be updated in later firmware. I've reached out to Eufy to kind of verify that, and I'm waiting on a response. When I do hear back, I will update in the comments below. All right, so on to my final thoughts. I really like this system. I love the fact that it has the solar panels built in. Now, I realize that price is a little on the high end, but for all that you get, I do feel that it is worth it. I mean, as long as you can have these things mounted close to the homebase 3, they are extremely simple and easy to set up. On top of that, with the new homebase 3 having 16 gigs of built-in storage and an expandable storage slot, which makes it basically infinite on the storage, holy geez, this thing holds a ton of video. Lastly, one of my newest favorite parts about these cameras is that it's supposed to support RTSP, which is huge. This means that I'll be able to get this thing added into Home Assistant, hopefully. I'll have links in the description below that will get you discounts on the camera, so definitely take advantage of those. And if you aren't interested in those cameras, I'll have a link to Eufy's website as well. Head over there, and I guarantee you will find something that you like.
I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burton's home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the greatest smart home gear, check out SMONet. I'll have a link in the description below for that as well. You head over there and see what deals they currently have running. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below for that as well. If you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.